Merci beaucoup, mon frère Philippe Labon. Nous sommes contents aujourd'hui parce que il fait beau. Thank you very much, my brother, to the Deputy President, to the ministers who are here, captains of industry who are excited that this day has finally arrived, where the two meet. The bilateral between South Africa and France is historic and warm, and it continues to be like that. This particular gathering is one practical example of ensuring that we leave this friendship, we deepen this partnership between the two countries. Now, business plays a very important role for us because we're encouraged, in fact, that even during these difficult macroeconomic conditions, but we still see foreign direct investment to South Africa through France. We have Club Med, for instance. Club Med constructing a world-class resort in South Africa currently, which promised to employ more than 1,000 people in South Africa. So we want to see this expanding in other key sectors of the economy. But thank you very much. It's your day today as business. We're here to listen to you, but I've been asked to specifically introduce our ministers. We have our ministers here with us. We have Minister of Small Business, Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, who's here with us. Small business is a backbone of the economy of this country. We have Minister Barbara Creecy, Minister of Transport. Minister of Transport is here with us. Thank you, Minister. We also have Deputy Minister Alvin Botes, who's the Deputy Minister of, I nearly said Foreign Affairs, International Relations and Cooperation. And we have, I'm sorry, we have a Minister of Tourism, Minister Patricia de Lille, was nearly penalized here. And we have Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Deputy Minister Kolimpi. I hope I have not forgotten any other minister. Oh, no, nobody. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Deputy Minister facing me.
Thank you very much, Chairman of MEDEF. I would rather stand, in fact. Honorable Deputy President, thank you for allowing us to pull you out of South Africa to France. The idea that we worked on with the ambassador was to foster a conversation that works better than all other conversations. A conversation that is in the language of trade is a much more smooth conversation than any other language. And our intention is to build collaborative relationships between South African business and French business. The more than 400 French companies that we have in South Africa now, we would love to see more French companies stepping into South Africa. But it would also be best if they would get into South Africa to forge partnerships with South African business. Our intention is not just to attract capital from France, but also to attract technological capabilities from France. Whether it is in the logistics sector, whether it is in renewable energy, whether it is in finance, whether it is in telecommunications or in hospitality, we would love to see an arrangement where South African business and French business are working together to help South Africa solve some of its major problems. But the other important thing is that when the world seems to be in doubt about the future of collaboration, we have to step up and business must lead that conversation. If political leadership globally is struggling to forge a future of common prosperity, the conversation between CEOs and chairmen of firms must demonstrate that global solidarity through trade is still a viable platform for humanity to prosper collectively. So I have brought with me from South Africa a combination of private sector companies and public sector companies to demonstrate that the South African state is deploying all its available capital, both private and public, into international collaboration in the interest of building the South African economy, in building the African economy, and building the global economy. We might have come here as a South African delegation, but we are also presenting ourselves as a gateway to Africa as a whole. Those who build their bases in South Africa, those who build their firms in South Africa, they are also building for themselves a leverage to step into a continent that has 1.4 billion people, with a demographic dividend of more than 60% of the population being people my age. Yes, I am of that age that is below the 60% threshold. And no other continent in the world can compete with us. That means not just from the youthfulness, but also the potential to acquire the skills of the future, to also provide you with an unending well of human capital to accumulate your capital across the continent and into the rest of the world. So I do hope that this little arrangement we did here of pairing South African and French business people will continue beyond this little room we're in. It would be best when we come back here next year to be told that Zungu Investments has struck a major co-investment partnership with someone else in France. If the IDC can tell us that they are co-financing a renewable energy project with a French energy company, if Minister of Transport is being bombarded with requests from French firms to submit their own applications to partner with us in improving our ports efficiency, in improving our rail efficiency. If the CEO and CFO of Eskom can come to us and say, French energy companies are coming to us to tell us about how best energy security, that would have been a successful trip for the Deputy President. So thank you very much, Deputy President, and thanks to everyone for coming. Thank you.
Thank you for your inspiring speech. I spoke to Catherine about the powerful of African youth. You're a great example. Now I give the floor to Catherine, then she will give the floor to David and Madame Diallo, and then we will carry on. Please introduce yourself in a few words.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Your Excellency, thank you very much for hosting this breakfast. Very pleased to be here as the Group NG CEO. We have been engaged in energy for decades. Today, very much engaged in leading the energy transition. So developing production on the power side from low carbon renewable sources, but also managing infrastructures and catering to customers. And in South Africa, we've been there for years now. We have 400 people, and we are operating 14 assets. Well, and looking forward to do much more, also helping and contributing to the energy security of the country through low carbon power production. So wind, solar, potentially also energy storage, which is a key component of the low carbon energy system of tomorrow. We also have peakers, which we look forward to convert potentially to gas if the gas economy was to thrive in South Africa. We would be very much willing to look at converting some of these assets to make sure that they continue to play a key role in the system while lowering the CO2 emissions associated with these assets. And of course, contributing to the social development on all of the projects that we operate, obviously through training, employment, and in general, very focused on the responsibility of the company when we are developing those projects in South Africa. Looking forward to doing much more. Thank you very much for hosting us, and I will pass it on to David.
Thank you so much. Excellency, dear honorables. So Canal Plus is a major international media group born here in France, but 40 years ago. And we've been operating in Africa since the beginning of the 90s, so more than 30 years. As you are probably aware of, we have invested already 20 billion rand in South Africa, buying stakes of MultiChoice Group. And we are now in the mandatory trade offer process in order to invest more 20 to 30 billion rand, we expect, in order to take control of MultiChoice. Our aim is to merge the two companies, Canal Plus and MultiChoice, in order to build up a continental champion, an African continental champion, one unique of its kind, I would say. This champion, as you were, he will have a continental footprint. The African headquarters will be in Johannesburg. We believe it will have the scale big enough in order to compete against the US American gigantic companies like Netflix and Disney and Amazon, which are overwhelming the world with content and culture. We are targeting the combined group will be listed in London, in Europe, and also in Johannesburg, in Africa, gathering a whole portfolio of investors from the both continents. But more importantly, our aim is to build up a content factory that will be able to tell African stories to African people, but also African stories to the world. We've invested a lot in music, our group, in the last decade with in Africa. Now universal African music is not only an ethnic thing. NATO African music is like mainstream, like Era Star and Rima, and many artists are now talking culture and musical culture to the whole world. So, President, we've been intensively for a year now with the various stakeholders, regulatory authorities of South Africa, in order to frame that ambition, fully complying with the South African economic and social landscape. And so we need your request, we need an request for blessing in order to finalize this cooperation with the in which now time is of the. Thank you so much for that.
Good morning. I was just making sure. Is that the round that's supposed to happen, right? Absolutely. Your Excellencies, good morning to all of you. My name is Agnès Diallo. I'm the chairwoman and CEO of IN Group. We are a French company of age because we are 500 years old. But we like to call ourselves a startup because we're very much in transformation. What we do in the world is we build the route to trust. The way we do that is we deliver identity and secured identity for more than 40 countries in the world. When I say secured identity, I mean your